Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is 2018. Well, 4 of them, 2018. Well, of course, basically, I have been lacking basically on videos lately. I'm sorry that I haven't been keeping you guys up to date of new videos. I've been so obviously just... Well, I've been very obviously basically just keep myself busy with my personal life, and of course, been losing my ever basically 5-year job. But however, I'm still in the process of looking for a job. For right now, I think it's time for me basically kind of like continue of the updates that I was supposed to mention, and actually supposedly actually keep you guys with what I had recently laid on DVDs. I have some new stuff basically I want to show you guys, and of course basically some of them are actually from DC, some of them are from basic course from other basic course DVD companies like of course Viz Media, of course Milk Creed, and yeah, let's see what I got. This is of course Eric Herman's DVD and Blu-Rays update from 2018. Today on our first movie reviews. Welcome back. Okie dokie. So I guess we start off with basically this stuff right here. Now, of course, I actually was very happy indeed to actually get these sets, and I was very happy that finally, that of course, from a long wait of a long time, that of course that we're never going to probably get these sets. We never probably thought we were actually going to get them. So I just feel like, you know what? It's about time that finally Viz Media put out and actually listen to the adoring fans that actually. Now, of course, if you remember my Pokemon DVD evaluation videos that I was explaining about, of course, the difference between the actual basic course, the proper releases of the first season single discs compared basically of course the 3-part basic course DVD box sets, which I still basic course still own. I still have it written in my basic course shelf. I just don't have the actual box set. I still have kept them on their DVD casing, but however, I did eventually obviously got basic volume 3 Pokemon Integral Plateau basic course set. So that being said, that was for fully complete. I could have basically showed up a bit, but I'm not really right now. But finally, they actually put out these sets, and I was very happy indeed that now I don't have to worry about having the actual basic course season 3, 4, 5 of the Johto Legion basic course series. Season run, because finally they actually put them out, and here they are. So we have of course Pokemon Johto Journeys. This is of course the 3rd season. Then we have of course the 4th season, Johto Champions, and I have to say, man, they really took so much effort to the basic. And then of course we have the final basic course season. This is season 5 of Master Quest. So that being said, these are all the 3 seasons of the Johto Johto Legion seasons. So of course that was very well happening. Now of course, if you remember, I did have bootlegs, though I don't know if you probably never really recognized of the actual basic course video that I posted recently. I think what was the first basic video I did recently, of course, that I did my DVD evaluation. It was probably in 2000, of course. I think probably 13 or even basic course 2012. It could be basic course one of these, but I'll put the links in the description so you can actually check those out. So you can just don't have to worry about everything else. But I was very happy indeed that they finally put these sets out. So I was very happy indeed that they finally really listened to the fans They really, I mean, Viz Media, they really know how to please fans and actually give fans what they actually do or actually want. So, with that being said, all 3 seasons of these lovely Basic Course series is finally complete. Now, of course, you probably know what the actual basic set itself, so I'm going to basically give you a Basic Course info. So we have, of course, Ash Ketchum, along with his side of basic Pokemon. Now, of course, if you notice this here, that he doesn't have Zubat. He actually have a Noctowl, though, that in Basic Course in this season run. But, of course, you do see he does have a Chikorita, his Cyndaquil, his Heracross. He did have a Totodile, which is very obviously kind of common, not really showing up here, but that's basically another set. This is the front cover. I don't have it in the slip cover, so that's kind of fine. There's the spine. And then on the back, it is basically listed over basically 50 hours or before discs. This is, of course, over basically, I mean, also so these original I have them down, and these lovely basic sheets. 41 episodes. So that's 41 episodes for basic for 4 discs. The only thing I did not acquire is the episode guide, so I had to listen to all the episodes in the chronological order. So we have, of course, disc 1, which is Totodile. We have disc 2 and 3. That's, of course, we have Weasling, and of course Staryu. I really don't even remember these Pokemon. I have to be obviously remember them. And then, of course, and then disc 4, we have, of course, Charbok, or the actual snake that basically, of course, that Jesse had basically through the first season all the way to the 5th. And then, of course, because I can give you the listening of the episodes. So I just wrote down the episodes to kind of give you each order based on each disc. So that's being said. Yeah, so then of course, really that's kind of where they actually kind of core up is we give you advertise of the Heart Gold Soul Silver basic course manga, which is the Johto Legion basic course manga set series. So basically that means there's obviously being very obviously of the manga. No. I haven't read much of the Pokemon manga, so basically bear in mind I'm not really keeping up with it. So that's basically course set 3, or should I say season 3 of Johto Journeys. Then we go to season 4. This is of course season 4. And you notice there is of course Noctowl into the front cover. So you have of course Totodile, Cyndaquil, Bailey that evolves to Chikorita. And then, of course, we have Pikachu and Bulbasaur. So that's pretty much his base entire. He did eventually obviously have to give up Bulbasaur version to Professor Oak. And on the spine, both of the spines are basically, of course, the same. And on the back, it is, of course, 80 hours of basic Pokemon basic episodes. And then if you open up the basic, of course, slipcover, which is, of course, nice, obviously. Nothing to raise or anything, it's not bumpy, anything, just a nice, of course, little flimsy slipcover. Same thing as on the actual, of course, slipcover itself. Front, spine, back, you name it. And of course, it is listing about 53 episodes per 5 discs, or should I say, this was 5? No, 6 discs, should I say. So, of course, we have 5 discs. So that's we have, of course, we have of course Coughing again, Wobbuffet. They came to be the third, well, should I say, basically the 4th round base of the Team Rocket team. Then we have of course Poliwhirl and of course Golbat. And then of course on this, what was it? Yeah. And on disc 5 and 6 we have of course Bayleaf and Leon, who is pretty well nice as well also. And so that is pretty much all of that. I didn't write down the lists of the episodes. I will eventually come around, which we'll listen to them for some being. So that's set 5. Wait, set 4. I don't want to say set 5. It's getting, of course, my turn. Then, of course, we go to set 5, Master Quest. And this is a big clan base, of course, DVD shelf. Very nice indeed. And of course it is a slip cover, so no raised bumping anything for that matter. Then we have the front, spine, and the back. It is based, of course, over 23 hours of content based of the episodes, and this one's just like 64 episodes. Then we have a little ad for of course, the Pokemon Adventures, which I have only 4 volumes of those. Then we have all contain 7 discs. So we have, of course, from the first disc, we have Bulbasaur. We have Corsola and Espeon. I do enjoy of course, both of these Pokemon. I think they're really well inspired basic Pokemon. Then we have, of course, Larvitar and Togepi. Look at Togepi, it's so cute. Look at that. Check that out. That's pretty cute. Togepi's cute though. He's a cutie. And then of course we have, I can't tell what this Pokemon was, but I know that's Pichu. I can't tell what this one was, which I think it was Houndour. Yeah, Houndour. Yes. Yeah, I just trying to remember most of the Pokemon originally that it comes from. So of course, this is of course a 64 episode set. The thing that I find very interesting about these sets, which though, that Viz Media is actually putting out, they are putting out other of course anime shows that I am very obviously curious and want to pick up. I actually watch a high recommended show, but I'll say that version for when I actually do get the actual set. So that being said, let's put all this together. Oh, sorry. So that's all 3 seasons of the Pokemon Johto Into the Champion, or should I say Pokemon Into the, how can I say this word? Pokemon International Legion, or should I say of course, somewhat international, but of course these are all 3 seasons of all of course it contains all 10 episodes in pre-basic sets. For of course this one is 41, this one is of course 50. 3, and this one's of course 64. So you're looking at a total of 165 episodes, or maybe 169. I could be mistaken, but these are the episodes are listed in this set, in this series. So all in all, this is a wonderful good opportunity to finally have a complete set of the Johto Legion. Finally completed. Finally happy indeed that we should watch them all over again. And I honestly say it's indeed happened. Now, of course, from Melcrete, checking my time, I was very surprised this was going to be available. I didn't know expecting obviously it was going to never happen, but with Melcrete being, just awesome that they are, I know there's another set I want to pick up, but I might save that version for another time. But I was trying to get it though, but however, since it was 2017, I was still obviously in the process of trying to get some new course DVDs and Blu-Rays into my collection and actually have a decent well received of shows that I am familiar with. So happy indeed that they actually put out this set, and boy, I'm just grateful that really finally just really am. I just don't know what else to say. They actually put out the Secret World of Owl's Mack, the complete series. Now, of course, this is a Nickelodeon production of course show. However, they actually did put out the first season of this show. Now, it's not really exclusively based upon Nickelodeon, but it is very well production by Nickelodeon. It is very production. It is very obviously into the works of course. The show was brought through the 90s, and I'm just happy indeed this set is finally a complete series. That it is branded by, of course, Shout Factory and everything, and just seeing this onto my hands, man, I'm just really happy indeed to own it. So that being said, it's really great to really see this show yet again. I actually did watch 3 or 4 episodes of this show. Like I said, the quality is not the best because, like I say, it is of course a 90s show. But however, it's still great to see the episodes content rich in these discs. It is contained of course only about 6 discs. from this series. Pretty well received basic, of course. He's a good base of artwork though. Sorry, basic about the line. So yeah, so it's in a nice, of course, slipcover and orange slipcover Johto, just like Nickelodeon. So yeah, so we have, of course, the front cover. We have the actress who plays Alex, and on the spine, if you probably noticed, maybe if you not noticed, there's a little miniature of a K onto the actual, of course, slipcover. I don't know what that is. I think it's probably the factor's fault, or maybe because it was like that or so. But I don't know if anyone you guys have that kind of problem. But if you do, I don't know what was the deal with that is. So Melcrete, you should definitely double check your basic course, your basic product when you're selling stuff like this. But it's nothing really a big issue. Just let's give you guys a heads up. So of course, on the other side, and I noticed there's a little slot onto my basic slipcover that came from just basically from the base that it was delivering. So I don't know if that was basically what that was the problem. And of course on the back we have the listing of of course, of how many episodes. This is as it contains 78 episodes for 4 seasons. So that's kind of really good run for this show, running from I think it was what the show came out in 94 to 97, somewhere around back about that year. So, but happy indeed to originally own the set. So yeah, it's still in an orange case. And of course, if you open the slipcover, just a nice slipcover, just of course nothing fancy. Same thing on the back. And also, great thing I like about this set, not only basically have the episode listing, but it also has some trays. Look at that. Oh, yeah, so hold on one second. These DVD. Oh crap. Mine's kind of chipped off though. Yeah. There you go. But hey, it's fine. It's fine. Not really too biggie. But the great thing about this is that Melcrete really put their DVD sets pretty well good. I mean, they always going to tend to basically put their DVDs into the paper sleeves, which is kind of very obviously does the budgeting. But this is not bad. So yeah, mine is a little chipped up though, so that's kind of my fault. I think it kind of just came out that way. Then we have, of course, so we have this 1 and this 2. So we have season 1 to season 2, half of season 2 to season 3 to season part 3, and then of course finally basically enter season 4 to basically of course take this 5 and 6. So that is Alice, the Secret World of Alice, the complete series. Very happy indeed. I might have to get the cover replaced just for basic, of course, get that really fixed up. But yeah, I mean, just really indeed to own this set. Really, I know, of course, there's a YouTube channel who really actually review the actual show. I'm not gonna give you my of reviewing of each episode, but this highly think it is very well. It is low quality because it is basically in somewhat basic in standard definition to base of camera quality, but like I said before, this was based in the 90s. This was basically what we're shooting based about in somewhat basically in 35 film, and of course for a TV show production you can't go wrong with that. So that's pretty much obviously that. I basically put that there. Then finally, I was happy indeed that of course DC and Marvel are doing their basic course, their production of TV shows and movies just well received. I mean, but honestly, to be fair, I was happy indeed that they get these lovely sets though, from DC TV show run. Now, of course, their movies adaptations, they're not awful. They're just not quite good. I mean, they tend to basically go too dark, too gritty, too very obviously not very interesting for me. But with their TV shows, I mean, with their basically spend the TV shows, it's really great. And only just the first seasons, it's really just popular. Now, I actually purchased these during 2017. It was basic course. I was still working that basic course at my really 5-year job. I was making pretty much well saving money and everything else, and I really want to basically rewatch the show yet again because, of course, CW is actually finally putting out these shows being in a nice, really mid-range successful. So of course, that being said, it's great to see these shows. But of course, there is one show that's not a part of it of the CW run, and that is only based on a show that I kind of think it's kind of good, but however, it's still one of those basic course shows is trying to be more very more popularity with the character. Then Arrow season 1, Flash season 1, Legends of Tomorrow season 1, Supergirl season 1, and then of course this was basically was going to be in the of course the DC run base of the 4 main shows, but however they got transferred of course to Fox, and then of course Gotham season 1. Now I'm basically give you a proper base of each of these sets. So of course Arrow season 1. Now what I think about the show, I honestly never really heard about Green Arrow. I have familiar of the character though, thanks to of course from multiple TV shows like Batman, or even of course Superman in that matter, because he was basically guest on based on those shows. Like for instance the Batman, they have being guested based by featuring basically the character itself. Also based on Smallville, being featured by the actor, I can't pronounce his name, but if I don't know his name, this is his name though here on to the I'm based in Ninja. But this is started to a different actor named Stephen Amell, who plays the new Green Arrow in this version of here. Now they run for now 6 seasons. I honestly have to say, this is sort of kind of like a Batman ripped off kind of feel. But however, it is very obviously a little bit more interesting because we have seen, of course, many basic course versions of Superman and Batman basic TV shows on the run. Now that being said, it's actually kind of great. But however, with of course, multiple basic from I think in 2000 they actually did try to make what if one of these popular basic 3 superhero characters like Superman and Batman get back to be on television. For that being, for all of it said, it's pretty obviously sort of has its run basically of its basically its time, because the only shows we had basically from in 2000 was basically of course Smallville, and then of course we had basically that's the alarm, just basically testing out versus the alarm, don't worry about it. What I was saying, that we had basic course Smallville that run for 10 seasons, and then we had of course I think it was Birds of Prey, the complete series, that was running from 2000 I think, which was it 2000 or 2002, I'm not quite sure which is up, but I'm going to have to look at the procedures of that. But with the supposed Arrowverse that people always kind of mention, that the CW was running these superhero shows. Now we have, of course, a new show, Black Lightning. He's going to come in basically until in February, or I think this month. I think this month or in February, but I have to basically look up to it. Yeah. That being said, I have to say, watching the first season is not bad as it is. Now, rewatching it, it did feel a little bit different as I remember. I do recall originally watching it in certain episodes in the first season. I haven't really finished up originally watching the end of the part of this season. So rewatching again an entire full series, an entire know the characters, it is just wonderful to recapture basically watching these episodes yet again. So that is very obvious. It was so great to see this show really be such. But now, of course, the character itself, Oliver Queen, is like a billionaire playboy like Bruce Wayne. Excuse me. To actually use his financial basic course money to basically stop crime and everything. But for this is more as he's more like a B-list character, like Iron Man. Green Arrow is a very B-list character. He's very well a very he's in the mid-basic course in other superheroes category, like of course Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate, of course Power Girl, and many other basic superheroes like Booster Gold. They became very well B's characters that DC was trying to create. But seeing this show, and the reason why they call it Arrow is because they want to keep the line of the show of Smallville. Like basically Smallville, you have of course Superman who just doesn't wear tights or cape. He just comfortably does not really consider or even know how to basically learn to fly. So that being said, it's kind of fun. But here, though, you do get the very archer basically of a character who shoots arrows with a bow, and you do see him basically being a vigilante superhero in the very beginning. So that being said, I still say this though: the actor who played him, Stephen Amell, he's a really kind of very mediocre actor. Now, I don't personally know him, and generally, I have heard that he had done very small roles through basically other basic course movies and television shows that he's done in the past. And seeing him basically playing as Green Arrow, playing as Oliver Queen, I think his performance, it's not really hard to explain. It's kind of hard to explain because he's one of those actors who just really likes to basically have a little bit more fun based of his performance, and it's really kind of interesting to see him actually be more invested based of the character stuff. But he enjoys basically playing the character for 6 seasons, and now we're gonna see a little bit more based of Stephen Amell's action version. Not only that, we have the supporting characters that I will basically mention the name of. If I could just pull up the set stuff, there is of course a episode listing. So of course I'm gonna give you basically a bit of it. So we have of course the slipcover. See Stephen Amell, his muscular body with all his scars and everything, got his arrows in his quiver. And on the back, just basically, of course, this is the info based of the story of the first season, and of course the special features. And on the back, you get the nice Blu-ray eco case, not non-eco casing. So on the front, I guess first. Then of course we get to not only basically we have a booklet. We also have the basic for, I think what's it? How many discs there are? 4 discs. So we have in their typical basically cover. This is of course a nice, good, sturdy basic course Blu-ray casing. So sorry about the glare. Basically, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. So I have disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, and disc 4, and disc 4. So that being said, we have a nice, good booklet. Or should I say a little pamphlet based of still Stephen Amell. This is him based in his, of course, his first season Green Arrow costume. He doesn't have the mask on though, but it's a basic performance. Then of course, we have of course a little basically photo base of episodes. So of course, containing all basically, how many episodes were they? 23 episodes. So that's basically, of course, we have, what was it? Disc 1 and Disc 2. But they contain their basic special features. And then Disc 3. And on back on Disc 4. Then we have the actors who played the characters. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. And that's pretty much it, though, about this. I still say this, the first season had a good summer run, and I was very happy indeed I actually got to start watching it. So that's season 1 of Arrow. Then, of course, we go to the new Flash. Or, of course, as we say. Now, of course, this takes right after basically season 2 of Arrow. Now, I don't have season 2 of Arrow, not just yet. I'm planning on maybe hope we get it sometime being. But we have the first season of Flash. This stars not only basically a new coming actor named, what's his name? Jesus, I'm so terrible with basic names with actors. But we have a new Flash who, so basically the fastest man alive, or so in basic course in the comics, and what did I say? But this one's a little bit more different. Now, of course, I said that before, the CW run of Arrow, basically, well, I can't speak. I still say this though. Seeing, of course, these superhero TV shows live action on television, that's just not bad though. So seeing these characters actually in a proper costume, it's really good, though. Then they're not in a jacket or a kind of like some purpose leather jacket material. However, I still say this though: the costume design, it's quite leather material based, of course, costumes. Like in the first season, you do get basic course seeing him. You do see Oliver being in the green hoodie. So that was basically showing that he was still basically doesn't have to don the mask or anything. He was just basic course just killing people, and he was calling himself a vigilante, Arrow Hood, or should I say, Robin Hood, if you want to call it, who basically give the rich to the poor. But here though, he does kill people in his version here. In this first season, he does completely just automatically just shoot arrows on people. Like he just used those arrows for a reason. And of course, in the first season of Flash, this one's actually quite a little bit different than we had the Flash in the '90s. The complete series. It's quite different though. It's a little bit charming though, than in the first season. But we get to the internationalization of Barry Allen in the second season. Now that was very well kind of great to start off that way, and it really helps to base off. It's kind of like almost like the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. But however, this actually takes right after Richard, of course, when Oliver considers himself as a hero, but not as a superhero yet. So it moves on basically towards and makes it into proper seasons. But for Flash, he is very well as obviously a vigilante himself, but he used his ability, his Speed Force abilities to help out to the base of the police academy, and of course to find the base of the killer who killed basically his mom. Same thing, so it's always basically, of course, in the run of course, the New 52 line on base of the Flash. I haven't read much of the Flash, so bear in mind, I don't know about this character. I know the character who he is. I know who he is. I just don't really read that much comics. So that being said, it's pretty obviously just kind of nice. So we have a nice slipcover itself. If you notice that the Flash has a nice continued basically, of course, foil slipcover. Very nice. On the back, same thing with featurettes and everything. And then, of course, we go to the actual non-eco casing. I mean, these Blu-ray cases are very sturdy, and they don't break that easily. And we open up. We have, of course, I haven't really got around to really finish up watching the first season of Flash. I'm just basically, of course, just rewatching though, and actually watching the new seasons based off these shows. So we have a 4-disc set. We have the actual booklet. So we have the base disc 1, disc 2, and disc 3, and disc 4. When you see Flash is running, I guess in base of Central City. I suppose that is Central City though. I haven't been keeping up watching the show lately, but I have been trying to keep up. Then of course we have same thing, a little miniature basic, of course, folded basic pop-up. So we have, of course, all the listen of the episodes in there. They're basically taking their discs. And of course, we have casting listing. His name is Grant Gosling. That's his name. Is the actor who's playing the new Flash. So that is basically the new Flash, basically in the Justice League movie. I forgot what his name is, but I'm just terrible with names nowadays. So that being said, that is, of course, Flash Season 1. Then we go to Legends. Yet again, of course, flip the cover. This tend to basically be like sort of like the Justice League kind of like factor based of this show. However, it's kind of a little bit mixed because you do have certain characters that are probably noticeable, but also you get new because they're becoming actors and basic, of course, actors that are basically acquired basically in the DC basic run universe. I mean, not only basically you have, of course, general basic actors, but you have freaking Brandon Routh who plays Superman Returns, but he plays Adam in basic course in season 3 in Arrow, and seeing him basic course in Legends. That's a pretty well good start there though. So we have a nice typical shiny cover like basic course the Flash does. Nice shiny kind of cover on the back. Listen to me some of the episodes. This is of course a ultraviolet basic course, but this is of course Blu-ray. Anyway, and then of course there you go. Of course, then we have the front and the back in a sturdy case. This is of course 2 discs, nothing too fancy. We have the booklet and the promo code, which I'm not going to show you the actual promo code itself. That's for me. So we have a 2-disc set. This one's running only for basically only. Let me guess what these were. Let's see. yes, 16 episodes. So that being said, then go to our triply basic course. Nice photo, basically. So only 16 episodes for the first season. Then we have the casting list. So like I said before, Brandon Routh is now Adam. So that's kind of cool. That's really amazing seeing it. I know most of these actors who are playing. No, I know, of course, who actually plays the first Black Canary in basically the second season and died off basically on the third season, and come back from the dead from the third season, and then come back. And then basically, of course, this would be a cameo basically of the entire run. So because she's very noticeable basically in the show, and she's like kind of like the very opposite. And she becomes the White Canary basically in the Legends. So that's kind of nice. Then we have the promo code. I'm just blocking my basic course promo code number so you won't see it. And also we have the back ending this basic course of the information. Anything else? And that being said, that is, of course, put the casing back in, the first season of Legends. Then we get to Supergirl. Now, honestly, I was very kind of a little worried about this. Now, you're probably thinking why I was worried about this. Well, however, I was very always skeptical. They were never going to probably do a Supergirl show because, like I said before, when you are basically doing these, when you have this idea, you want to think that you think would probably be a good idea. You're kind of a little overwhelmed and worry about how it's going to work out. But with 3 seasons and seeing her basically in, of course, in cameos, into, of course, crossovers, honestly, the first season is not bad. I mean, I think the only downside is this is, of course, taking the basic with Superman, though. Now, in the second season, I'll probably talk about the basic course, the second season about of that of Supergirl. But also, I was kind of really overwhelmed of how this show was going to basically be worked out because people get so really how can I use the word? I'm looking for the word. Not really understand how this was going to functionally going to work. Like basically, the Marvel Cinematic Universe doing somewhat basically successful of trying to bring characters who are so silly and so ridiculous. They make them so obviously A-list based material. I mean, not like A+ material, but very A material to know it eventually could work. With Supergirl, I was kind of a little worried about that. I was kind of saying, what kind of base a girl from the planet Krypton that even basically, of course, Kal-El, the son of base of the last son of Krypton who becomes Superman, can basically be more not very interesting than see, of course, the Girl of Steel. Now, watching the first season, there were episodes that are quite good. I think the pilot was really well standing out, but this is probably my only kind of time I'm kind of finding very interesting the base of Supergirl. Now, of course, I'm not a huge fan of Supergirl. However, I am fan of base of Power Girl, the character stuff. I'm very well familiar with base of Power Girl. I am familiar with Supergirl. I do know that she is, of course, Superman's cousin, and of course, all that stuff. Thanks to, of course, the movie adaptation, and of course, reading some of the comics, and actually, seeing her basically, of course, in Smallville. But not only Smallville, but of course, the animated series of Superman, and of course, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. And also other basic course source material that she has been featured in. But she's only been featured only based in her solo movie, of course, anime series, and of course, live action. That's basically, of course, Smallville, and of course, her own show. Now, when I think about her own show, basically, I still say this the first season has some moments, and I think the episodes are quite richly standard, are pretty much standard. They're very well standard. They're very well, nice, mediocre, and everything. And I still say this, I haven't gotten around to finish up the first season, so I will eventually come around to finish it up. But the reason why I'm buying it because I just wanted to basically own this first season, and I really highly do think the character itself has pretty much being brought up basically by girls, because now girls are getting into the comics, they are getting much more into basic course into the whole media basically the superhero genre, especially with female superheroes. But that being said, with Wonder Woman being successful in basically her debut, basically first ever live action movie, I say, yeah, Supergirl is well received. It's well received based on her own series and her own show, and well received based on her own of her own character treatment, or should I say, her own basic style based of her own story. But it is very interesting to know that she is very obviously Superman's cousin, and of course she is very well noticeable from the comics. But people who are very familiar with not really understanding about the character, I highly definitely reread some of the comics she has been featured in. That was Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was basically the first ever base of Supergirl taking a very will sacrifice to save not just basically, of course, her cousin, but the entire base of the multi-universe by, of course, killing the monitor villainous character and really sacrifice and really get killed off. There was a time where she was supposed to be killed off basically in that mini-series, well, should I say not mini-series, but full-on basis series of that story. But how seeing her basically, of course, coming back into the comic, and basically seeing her basically back in the small screen, into Smallville, and to basically her in the anime series, seeing her in her own show, hey, who could say no to this character? Now, of course, like I said before, I was very always skeptical about the first season. However, when they was kind of releasing the pilot, I did obviously get a chance to watch a little bit of the pilot with just the trailer. Now, of course, the trailer did kind of obviously spoiled a lot of the first pilot, but that's a minor nitpick because remember, this show was going to be on CW, but it was going to transfer towards CBS before it got transferred over to CW. So I don't know what that was, but for whatever it was successful for the first season, and now we're into the third season. Man, it's gonna be a rough ride based on the basic use, but I still enjoyed the character, enjoyed the basic course, the actors, and you know, honestly, just it's the same humor basically like the Flash though. But I heard from some people say this takes a little bit obviously of a little bit of the Lois and Clark series. The Lois and Clark New Adventures of Superman. Now, I am not a huge on that show. However, I do respect for what it is and how it basically says. It's part of basically of the run. But however, it was just basically, of course, just Lois and Clark talk about their relationship and everything else. I mean, yeah, sure, of course, they talk about the other things, but it was still basically, of course, seeing Lois and Clark be in the relationship and actually constantly being staying in the relationship. Okay, that's a mouthful of reason to say. But like I said before, the first season of Supergirl is well received. Now, of course, we have Miss Benoit. That's what I call her. That's what people call her nowadays. I can't really remember all these actresses though. So we have Miss Benoit flying over of Natural City. Now on the spine, we have a nice course. Continue basically. It's not really bumpy anything or shiny anything. Now on the back, we see her again, just running in basic course, I guess, in the background with the sun dropping base of the bridge. This is just not much features. This is contained, of course, over 20 episodes. So of course have that same thing in a nice sturdy case. Then open it up. We have a 3-disc set. Yes, we do. We have a 3-disc set. I was correct. So we have a 3-disc set of disc 1, disc 2, and disc 3. Then, of course, yet again, we have an intro booklet and, of course, the promo code. So I'll give you the actual booklet. And then if you open it up, we do get this lovely picture of Miss Benoit in her Supergirl costume. I still say this though, I was very surprised when I saw the costume. I was kind of like, how are they going to design it, even though it's made from leather material based fabric. But hey, they actually did it, and whatever they actually did, they did it work. So of course we have this lovely, lovely info base of all the episodes and the special features. Say you do get, like, of course, character base, of course, imagery base of the cast, obviously, and then of course on the back we have the cast scene. We have the cast. So of course, now I was very kind of curious about this chick. I actually know who she is. She's actually the basic, of course, one of the main stars in that movie, of course, not in a teen movie, where she plays a teenager basically who constantly basically wants to fall in love and everything. Now, of course, Sarah Mezzo, who plays Alex Danvers, I found her character very well entertaining. And the reason why that being said, I'm just gonna probably just put it down here. I might explain it a little bit, but the thing I like about her character, she goes in a route just completely just be traumatized. Basic course, as a radio from basic stepsister to Supergirl, and it's quite really interesting because honestly, I really need to kind of pronounce her name, but the actress who played Alex really just became such a really, I don't want to use the word tool or basic being apathetic. She goes the route to be such a bitchy, very well, excuse me if I'm saying that word, but she comes around very well badass, but she comes in the route that she really loves to be the jealous type, to be the very well, somewhat not aiming against the base of any females out there, but she just goes in the route, she just kind of completely like, she wants to have kids, because the actress who plays her has her children herself, so, but what I think about the actor who plays Jimmy, or should I say James Olsen, I mean, he was fine, you know, he was kind of just charming and everything else, but I was very surprised that the actress who played Cat Grant, in the first season, she was positively really a hard way to basically not to be too aggressive and anything, but she was brilliant in the first season. I think the actress who played her, I think I'm really just terrible with names nowadays. I gotta really remember these people's names. What's her name? What was her? Yeah, Karen Formo, who plays Cat Grant. I found that was really interesting to see her basically in the show, because she had done very well several movies I have seen before, but never really actually thought she was gonna play Cat Grant. Now, of course, this is kind of like almost like the Lois and Clark feel, but however, it's very well cheesy, like The Flash, very well catchy, and I might talk about it a little bit more when I get to basically rewatching these shows yet again. But still, these are a good show, well received. Now, of course, there's Gotham. I only watched the first season of this show for a basic purpose, because I thought originally we would probably get a Batman basic course spin-off that involves basically with just only basically the main triple characters like Jim Gordon, Harvey Bullitt, and of course we have Penguin. And there's also, of course, there's the actor who plays Riddler, and then of course you had other basic course actors. I can't remember, but I did not know, of course, J.D. Smith was going to basically be in here though, so maybe I know this, so yeah, there you go. I mean, I know who this guy is, which I just can't remember his name, but of course that's the, so, yeah, so on the spine, that, the back, listen to the episodes. Like I said, I haven't been watching this show recently since I basically started watching it. Yeah. Yeah, I think my casing is literally about to crack open. Oh, Jesus. And this is supposed to be a sturdy case. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I got a little piece of my little DVD and Blu-ray cases are coming apart. Look at that. Okay, then we have, of course, a 4-disc set. So we have disc 1, disc 2 and 3, and disc 4. What did I think about the first season of this show? Honestly, I really don't know how I feel about it. The only thing I'm really concerned about is it's not like a Batman show. It's like one of those, detective shows, like, True Crime, not True Crime, Law and Order, and a few other shows I can't really remember that has a detective work and everything else. So this is all the episode listing. It contains all 18 episodes, oh, no, not 18, all 22 episodes in 4 discs, so like that. And of course we have the, excuse me, it makes a bit of my nose. We have, of course, the casting listing. Then we have the promo code. And just so like that. The reason why I'm covering my promo code is that I'm trying to hope that I can give it to somebody who wants it though. I'm pretty sure anybody who wants the promo code originally, let me know. I will probably, hopefully, will show you guys some of the promo codes. Yeah, so like I say. So that is season 1 of Gotham. Woo! That was kind of fun. So let's put them all together and see if we can basically give you guys brief info of how much I spent. So there it is. That is, of course, my 2017 to 2018 collection of DVDs and Blu-rays. Oh, look. There we go. Now it's more properly. So that is it. That is completely of the sets I bought for Mesa from 2017 to 2018. So hopefully until next time, I might probably do some other basically updates. Might probably do some of the other videos lately. I know I haven't been very obviously keep you guys updated, but with 2018 come along, we're definitely looking forward to it. So until next time, this is Prime. Thank you for watching, and sayonara.